We're going to start by working with the advanced workflow features in GForge AS 5.5. Let's start by going into the tracker admin area, and we'll select the admin for the tracker that we want to work with. We're going to set up a complex workflow in the patch tracker. We'll start by working with commit triggers. So when we commit a change to the source code tree, it will automatically reassign the tracker item that we link it to. We can reassign the item, and we'll choose to reassign it to anyone with a senior developer role, and then we'll also change the code review field to review. Now let's work on the actual workflow rules. We're going to set up workflow and commit rules on that code review field. Let's define the possible transitions from the code review field. So we can go from not reviewed to pending review. That'll be a valid change. And we'll go for pending review to either of the two values. Those will all be considered valid changes. So let's set up the detailed requirements for that transition. And in this case, we'll just allow any of the roles, just for demonstration purposes, to make that change. No required fields, and we're also going to have it automatically notify the doc writers. Just send out an email. So when the change occurs, the doc writers will get a notice to look at it. We don't need to set up a reassign since that's being done in the commit trigger. If we were just setting workflow rules, we would use that. Now we're also going to change the status field to postponed, just for the sake of this demonstration. So when this transition occurs, the status field will change to postpone. Now let's go browse for items in the patch tracker, and we'll look at this item 310011, and right now we'll set it to the default code review of not reviewed and unassigned. So you can see that it's unassigned. Now we're going to commit a change against that tracker item. So we'll just change a file in that source code tree and then commit it with that ID number in the commit message. There. Now when we go back to the tracker, you can click in there and view that, and you'll see that it should be reassigned now to anyone with the senior developer role. The code review field has been changed to pending review, and the status, because the code review workflow rule was changed, the status was triggered. So you can cascade between rules. The commit triggers will trigger a workflow event, which can then trigger other field changes. Now we're going to look in a little more detail at the commit rules, because you can actually set it up so that commits can happen if fields are only in certain statuses, or it doesn't have to necessarily be just a status field. In this case, we're going to set a commit rule on the code review field, and we do that by going over and editing the field values, and then we just check the box there for which values it has to be in when a commit occurs. So we can only commit if it's in not reviewed or pending review. The transition rules can be edited there or on that matrix page. We can also set it up on multiple fields at a time too, so you can define commit rules on status and category as well if you wanted.